So a couple of weeks ago, I actually did some sparring down my local boxing gym. My intention this year is to have a fight in March, so anything I can do in the meantime to get myself ready, fitness and skill-wise, is going to be worthwhile. But back in December when I did my sparring, I had a severe case of shin splints. And to this day, I actually still do have a little bit of that left over. It's not a very nice thing to experience. It's very painful, quite sore at times. So what I was doing on this day was what I'd normally do. Did a circuit, did a bag circuit, some rounds of the bag. I don't know why for the life of me, I decided to pick on one of the most experienced people in the gym. His name is Kai. He's a very talented boxer. He's a champion. He's won multiple white collar events. He weighs a little bit less than me, but still that doesn't stop the fact that he's actually one of the hardest hitters in my gym, which was, it was a great decision to actually choose him out of all people. But when we actually started sparring, it actually felt quite nice. There was quite nice movement. I was able to get back into my flow, remember my moves, remember what to do. And it came to the last round and I was pretty much putting all the pressure on my leg and it was throbbing, it was sore, it was painful. And I wasn't evading a lot of the shots. I was getting hit with a couple and Kai does not hold back on his shots. But I think it just begs the question is why we decide to push through pain when we're in a very uncomfortable position. Like when we know being uncomfortable is worth it and the pain is something that you just have to push through. And I do think generally that everyone's got a lazy side to them. This is where the path of least resistance presents itself, where it's easier just to stay in bed an extra hour and have a lie-in versus getting up early and being productive and getting your immediate priorities out the way. But I'm a big believer that the more that you avoid things, that lack of courage actually becomes a really bad habit. But the first thing I want to outline to you guys is that suffering is mental. Ant Middleton, one of the most recognized military personalities out there, has learned a lot of hard lessons in his life. Being in the covert military is something that not a lot of us will experience, but a conflict is something we always deal with. Everyone will have disagreements from co-workers, everyone will get affected by a poor night's sleep. But what I think rings true and is actually a really good thing that he preaches is that the war is always in your head. When you're getting to that point where you want to give up, you're not actually at your limit, you're just approaching it. He also mentions in his book, First Man In, that if it feels like temptation, it's a bad decision. This is true because you're always tempted when you feel like you deserve a reward. Like you have to justify that taste of dopamine that hits you. Obviously, all work and no play would cripple anyone's motivation, self-esteem. It also means that you won't have many friends. But pushing your limits to know where they are needs to happen every once in a while. Like striking a conversation with that stranger at the bus stop. Maybe even opening up to your friend about an issue that has been on your mind for a while. Pushing your limits despite the initial discomfort. These are all things that allow the world to open up to you in unique and amazing ways. And it's all about that first step of being uncomfortable. Take those power moves. Another thing that I want to mention is that who you could be matters more than who you are. When we first begin our lives, we don't actually have a lot of choice of what happens to us. A lot of our experiences is us reacting to it, as cheesy as it sounds. And for a lot of people, it gives them the reason to put a chip on their shoulder about certain things. For example, if your partner cheats on you, you technically do have a reason to not trust anyone ever again in a relationship. Because you've had something bad happen to you once, it's easy to have that nagging doubt in the back of your mind. However, if you go through the next part of your life being non-committal, like if you just start sleeping around or not committing to anybody, the issue still stays the same. It's you that is the problem now. It's not the person that did the bad deed in the first place. And in Jordan Peterson's book, Beyond Order, one of his rules, is actually rule number 2, is imagine who you could be and then aim single-mindedly at that. And this rule elaborates that it's your most horrible side. It's the monster inside you that you need to succeed. You have to confront the evil, the stuff that you don't like about yourself. At the end of the day, it's not about being soft. It's not about being weak. These things do not get you very far. It's about bringing the stubborn side of yourself forward. Like you're not going to take no for an answer. You're not going to let things get worse. You're going to take it on the chin, move forward without complaining. You've got to bring out your own internal beast, your own internal monster. If you're working in a warehouse with 2 back-to-back shifts, you've got colleagues that have called in sick, there's no one to help you, you need to be the best version of yourself at your very worst. No room for complaining. If hardships are happening to you, you take it on the chin, you move forward without complaining and being a bitch. And that, my friends, is a sign of being a badass. Anyway, guys, that is it for this week. If you like this, definitely take a look at my other content. And I was looking through the figures. It turns out that only 5% of the people watching these videos are actually subscribed. So whilst you're here, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.